let's talk about audio. These DSLRs, they're not the best for audio, okay? They're just not. You got to work around it, though. You know what they're best for? Price. I mean, if you guys are buying your own stuff, you're going to buy one of these or a mirrorless because they're really reasonable as far as getting into a video camera. But what I'm about to show you, you can do it with your cell phone, whether you use your cell phone for the audio or the video portion. What they call a double system, okay? You're going to shoot audio on one card in one machine and video on the other. And then we're going to put them together. But the key is you got to have audio in the camera too for a reference. So the guys that don't have an audio recorder, let's just go over yours quick and everybody else pay attention. Was that, that's Nikon, right?
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
So I have a Rode microphone. Would it connect to the camera that Kim is using? Camera microphone.
Yeah. Are you working with Kim?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't want you guys to get confused, okay? I see a lot of that. People, those are cool, right? They look sexy. They are not for interviews. I mean, I don't know. I'm an old fuddy-duddy. Everybody, I'm looking because I have one here. Something like this, right?
Yes.
Exactly. It looks like I could get great audio from 25 feet. You know who has mics like that? The CIA. Nobody in broadcasting. Mics, I always say this, mics are not the same as zoom lenses. By the way, you guys have a zoom, so you can set up different shots by zooming physically. Do not record that zoom and think that that's going to work. I'm going to tell you to cut that out immediately. I don't want to see those rough zooms in your finished piece. I want you to see that you zoomed in and zoomed out and did different kind of focal length shots. But don't record the zoom because it looks so cool. It's really choppy. I don't even like ones that are done with a servo, nice and smooth, unless it's for a real reason. But getting back to this mic and your question, these are all right. They're great for natural sound. Or if I'm absolutely in an emergency situation and I'm about 2 feet away from the subject, that's going to be okay. We don't want okay, we want optimal, okay? So this is for B-roll and to get good shots. There is a mic on all these cameras, and that would be okay for B-roll. It's pretty crappy, though. So I'll show you how to hook this up. You can, and to answer your question, yes, as long as it's got this kind of an end, and I know it does if it's Rode.
Yeah, I have it. It's 3.5. The one I have is self-powered, though. The one you have, I think, is better.
So who has the problem with the 70D, okay? You have two 70s and a 90. They're almost the same camera, except there's no headphone jack for the 70s. This is unacceptable to any professional videographer. It's like shooting video with your eyes closed. I mean, I can't record audio. I mean, I can look at something, and if I'm not recording it, then it's not being recorded. To me, that's the same. If I'm recording the audio without hearing it, I might as well be deaf. I can't hear what's being recorded. Unacceptable, except in an emergency or something. So Nikon, I think you have the camera that doesn't have an audio recorder, right? Yeah, right? So hold yours up. Just to show everybody else, I gave you a cord with an adapter, okay? Because his camera, the 90 that we just bought, it does have a headphone jack. So then all you need is to go from a professional, you got the cable and the connector that I gave you? And I'll get one. Can y'all see this? This is a professional connection here, 3-pin. See the 3-pin inside there? XLR, that's a professional connection. And then the female version of it here. Might be a little dark to see it. See the 3 holes? That's what our professional video cameras take. And that's what, professionals love that, okay? But what Nikon's holding up right there is just a little adapter to go from that to that little mini plug that you see on the road. And then you plug it into the side of the camera, okay? And that's all. And then you put the headphones into the headphone jack on the camera. And then you're in business. Now you only get to record one source, which on professional video cameras, other video cameras, there are 2 sources, okay? Which is nice, but that's okay, you can live with that. So you just adapt it. Now the problem is you gotta keep those headphones on because it's very easily unplugged. These are not easy to unplug. I had a baby elephant get stuck in, all tangled up right before a live shot one time up at Busch Gardens. And I thought, well, it'll just break. It'll just break. It wouldn't break. He almost pulled the camera over. A baby elephant can't pull this apart. You breathe on this wrong and it'll pull out of there. And when will it pull out of there? At the exact moment when somebody's crying, I can't believe my son's in the Super Bowl. And you're like, great. And then you get back and it's, what happens is when it pulls out, it switches to the really crappy mic and you don't know it because you weren't listening. So now you're 10 feet away with a really crappy mic when you've got this beautiful lavalier mic pinned on them and you weren't recording it. What's the moral? Keep the headphones on. Learn what it sounds like to have really good audio. And then when you're like, it sounds like it's
very
in a barn,
important.
stop the shoot, stop the shoot, stop.
Are you guys getting that? Are you guys getting that? That's very important. You
gotta
have to
make sure you got the audio. We get so much bad audio. I just don't want to, I don't want.
And this is, you guys are, this is the worst thing when you come back and Eric will eye roll and side eye you so bad. And I will be like, oh, be like, oh, you have all this great video and like, there's no audio, or it sounds like, well, you're like, well, there's audio, but it's like the secondary, the nat sound audio. And you're like, that's not acceptable.
It's great for YouTube and you make all the YouTube, have your YouTube channel. You want a job with me? It's not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Like,
we're going to say, redo, go back. You have to go
do
back.
you have a lavalier mic? Yes. I don't hear it. You don't get the job. It's like, if you got the equipment, you got to use it, So,
Check your
again,
audio.
I want to stress, everybody loves these mics. They do look sexy. And they do have a pretty good sound. Now, I personally don't. There's better companies than Rode, but Rode again is inexpensive, and they made a lot of inroads in DSLR. And these are better, way better than the mic in the camera, but it isn't for interviews. So if you do use it for B-roll, please make sure it's plugged in and keep your headphones on, because although in the case of B-roll, if it unplugs and goes to the other mic, it's probably going to be okay. You can get to a point where you're not getting any audio, and that's not going to be acceptable.
I think this is a good time to also remind people there's more than one person in your group. So the person who's not, obviously you guys can't both handle this camera at the same time. So one of you is going to be handling the camera. It's the job of the other person to be the cross checker. Like you guys are gymnasts, like somebody's flipping, you better check the other person's not going to fall. Okay. So you really have to be the spotter. You have to make sure, like, I don't see that audio level, or I'm not hearing it in the headphones. And don't worry about if you're interviewing, as long as you're not making the interviewee stand there for 20 minutes. It may feel like 20 minutes in your mind, but the extra 30 seconds to a minute that you take to double check that it's really recording and it's on the right microphone is going to save yourself so much headache down the road. Because I'm telling you, if you don't didn't listen to me before, I'm going to tell you again, if you just went in one ear out the other, if the audio is bad and it's just that nat sound, we're going to say you have to redo that audio. These are professional videos. Okay. So the second person, cross check the other. Well, I don't care if the person that you're interviewing is standing there for an extra 30 seconds a minute. Just say, hold on, we want to make sure everything's right, and you double check it. Actually, like you're on an airplane. When I used to be a flight attendant in another life, and we would do the emergency bar, and the other flight attendant would have to be like, everything is locked in, and they cross check it before anybody takes off. So before you take off, you do it, and you have your partner cross check. So that's going to eliminate a lot of little mistakes, because it's overwhelming out there. I'm not going to, discount that. It is overwhelming, but you have 2 people with you. So use the second person.
What I would do is because now we're going to switch to people that have the audio recorder. And so this is what's called a double system. I'm going to record the audio separately. It's very important though, that I get good audio on the camera for reasons of marrying it up with the other file when we get into Premiere, when we get editing. So make sure you got audio. I'm going to show you how to do that here when we're done. But I want to, hold on, let me get a mic out of my other kit. I'm out of mics. Okay. Now you all have lavalier mics, I believe. I don't have one with me. Those are the mics that clip on. So I want you to ask people kind of run it under their shirt and clip it on, but don't clip it upside down. There's little holes on the top of it, called the capstan. That's where the mic is. Don't clip it upside down, okay? People do that. You don't, and also you're not Mr. Hollywood where I'm gonna hide that. I get that a lot. Why does it sound so muffled? In this case, now, this year, it's maybe because they have a mask on, but in other years, it's because people wanted to be slick. Well, I hid it. I put it under that person's clothing. Well, you're not that good, and those mics aren't that small. I don't care if I see a little bitty mic head up here. I don't want it muffled. I don't want clothing scratching on it. I want it to be clear. So you want to run it up under someone's shirt, okay? And then bring it up here. And optimally, now this isn't super important, but optimally, if someone's interviewing me over here, on my left here, I want the mic here on this side, okay? Because I can take the little clip and flip it over. So you can practice with that. If someone's interviewing me over here, I want to clip it here. I don't want to clip it way down here. Again, these mics are not powerful. There are no zoom in a mic. You got to get close. Now, you don't have to overthink it, but an inch or two is a lot better than a foot or two. And right here, I'm looking over here, they're interviewing me, the mic right here, an inch or two from my mouth. That's it. That's what we want. That's perfect, okay? So you have that lav, I have this hand mic, same difference. I'm gonna plug in the 3 plugs into my cable, okay? Everybody has their mic and cable. Nikon, you can do this on your camera too and make sure you got audio. In your case, you're not gonna do the audio recorder, but you can also be watching because you might get one of these. Now this one is brand new, just took it out of the package. So you'll have to stay with me if it's not quite set the way the other ones are. You other 2 ladies, you have your audio recorder too with you, right? These are cool. We use these for radio sometimes. I mean, they have their own mic. And if you don't have mics, you can just use them. They're pretty good mics and just put them down here below out of the shot. It works great. Your phone, by the way, will work that way. It might cut off in the middle of it. It'll be a pain, but it's free. You already paid for the phone. You can do voice memo. You can buy a mic to plug into. You use that mic that's on your headphones. You can do a lot of things. You Google it, and you can get quality audio just by sticking a phone, not even the mic, just sticking a phone just off the camera shot. I've seen people do it, and then use the double system. Okay. So everybody have their audio recorder now?
Yep.
So you got the mic plugged in down here on the bottom. It doesn't look like there aren't any 3-pin buttons like on a lot of things, but they will go in there. I think you want the solo pin on the top. Plug it into the left side and you should hear it click, click. Try to pull it out. You will notice it doesn't come out. There's a little button to take it out. All right, you see that? Don't force it out. XLR is never forced. A baby elephant couldn't pull this out of here. You can't either. You'll just ruin everything. Push the button. Everybody got that?
Yes.
Now there's a big thing that it snagged me, it snagged our students. On the side, there's a button that says hold. That button's a pain because you think the thing is broke. If you slide it up, it just keeps any buttons from being activated and it keeps screwing everybody up. So that if you think it's broke, that's the first thing to check because they get slid a lot. Make sure that's off, down, back toward the input levels here. Okay? Go to the button that says home and just hold it down for a second or two. I think you got batteries in there. And it should come on. So what I would do, by the way, if you have a 2-man crew, 1 person video, 1 person audio, the rest of it you work together on. But then it's like, otherwise it's like, I thought you were getting the audio. I thought you were getting the audio. Let's make sure we know who's getting the audio, okay? With these audio recorders. It's not gonna be that easy to do with the other camera. I mean, you can just have one person look at the viewfinder and worry about the exposure and focus, and the other person be listening. They're going to have to stand relatively close to you, though. And in this day and age, I don't know if that's how you want to do it. Somebody, though, has to be listening. Let's go ahead and plug our headphones in next before we even look at how to set this up. Remember that hold button. The headphones, you see them, they're up toward the top there. Okay. Everybody with me so far? So it's on, but you don't see any levels or anything. First thing I want to do is I want to make sure I'm getting the right record mode, because a lot of it defaults to the mics that are here. And that's not what we want if we're going to plug this into the lavalier mic and do a nice, have it there on the collar. So what I want to do is I want to go to this button up here, and it might be rubbed off a little bit. We've used those hard. They're starting to rub off. On the right there, there's 3 buttons. One should say record mode. It might be rubbed off. See where my finger is? You hold that down, and you're going to be in the menu. I want you to go to source. You can use the up and down arrows. And then you got to play with this a little bit. You push the enter button, and it goes to various sources. And then you do the up and down arrows. Internal stereo, external in left and right, external independent. We want external in left and right. That way, if I wanted to plug 2 mics in, I could. See it there? Okay, then you can hit that again. You still don't see any levels though. You do have, everybody have their mic plugged in? Okay, so this is key, pay close attention. The record button, I'm gonna hit it once. When I do, I start seeing my level there on my external mic. See it? 1, 2, 3, check, 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 okay? But I'm not recording, it's flashing, it's just telling me this is a preview, okay? So I listen to my headphones, check, 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 check. See what I'm doing? This is the key. Check, check, check. I'm pretty close to this other mic, so, and my headphones on this one don't sound that loud. So check, check, check. I just want to make sure I tap these little mics, I don't hear it. I know they're not on by mistake. The best way, I don't want to bang it, but the best way to make sure I'm getting this mic, I can hear it in my left channel, which is the only thing I'm recording in this setup. The levels, okay? You want just a good level. The level adjustment is right there behind that hold button. Up for a little louder. And you can see you don't want to go above 0 there. So you're all right, and you don't want to be super low. So I'm bringing my level up a little bit. Check, check, check. So my scale is maybe a little different than yours. And when it peaks, when it's going to get distorted a little, because I'm talking really, see it flashing there to peak? Every time that flashes, it's a little bit distorted. So if it's locked up and flashing all the time, you're way too loud. You got to bring it down. But generally, let's put it this way, audio is a lot more, the level of audio is a lot more tolerable as long as you don't distort than say f-stops on video. You don't have the right f-stop. You're way off on the f-stop. We're not going to be able to do anything. But if you're a little bit low, we can bring it up. If it's out of focus on video, can't fix that. If it's recorded too loud and distorted, can't fix that. Got to go back and reshoot. So make sure you're not distorting or super low. Okay. When you see that peak button come on, that's where it's hitting, going above 0. If it's doing that a lot, I would lower it. I would lower it. Okay. Once you get the level, okay, just hit the button again. Now this is key. You got to make sure. Now I'm recording. And how do I know? The numbers. Can you see them? See the numbers going?
Yeah.
Got to check that because it is easy to get confused on the preview. It's not flashing. It's just red, meaning it's recording. Okay. And then just hold down the stop button to stop it. If you hold it down like I just did too long, it'll turn the thing off, and that's fine. The batteries are back here if you need more. I don't think I have any extra in there, but I thought I put fresh ones in everybody's. The card is in the side on this. It's only a 2 gig card. Why is that? Because audio doesn't have anywhere near as much data as video. Remember, video is audio and video, and it's like 24 JPEGs a second. They're not JPEGs, but plus audio. Audio is just the audio information, okay? Everybody with me so far? Get these headphones off. You've got to have your headphones in. I don't want you to just trust that level. You've got to make sure that you've got it right, because you see that's not that easy. You got to make sure you have external, left and right. Plug it into either one. You're going to get 1 channel recording. We can put it on 2 channels later.
For those of you who don't have the camera, LaDante and Juan, write that down. So you at least spot checker.
Remember, you can always look this stuff up on your phone too. Don't be shut-eyed. When I'm in the field, oh, Tascam, I can't remember. Okay, Tascam DR40X on my phone. Owner's manual, quick guide, anything. Oh yeah, that home button. Oh, okay. That's how you turn it on.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I kind of missed the beginning because I couldn't find you. What kind of cameras we using so I can look it online if I don't.
You have a DSLR. You have a Canon
90D.
90D, right? You have the 90D.
90D?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you much.
Okay, so that's how you record the audio. Now, you might think, oh, I got a time, I got to go. Ready? Let's record together. 1, 2, 3, record. No, we don't have to do that. You just have to, are we ready? You got audio's good, video's all set. Okay, we can record. You don't have to sync them up. We're going to sync the editing system is going to look at the wave files, literally the up and down graph of the audio. It's going to line them up, the one in the camera and the one you're recording here. And then it's going to turn off the one in the camera and make a whole new clip. That does mean you got to have audio in your camera, though. Okay? So I'm going to show you that in a minute. Because for those of you that don't have a headphone jack, I do want you to at least confirm you have the audio. But it should be there by default, no matter what. Is everybody clear about that? Did everybody record a little bit, a second or two? So they know how to make that work?
So I don't know, I'm lost a little bit, but it's partly because a lot of the buttons on here are like rubbed off, so I can read them.
Yeah.
So we don't have sound. So can you just, I don't know if we're in the right, you said external left and right, and I think ours just said external, now it says something else. Tascam? I don't know. So can you just go through how to put it on the right setting?
Yeah, and yours might be a little different because this one's a newer model, but I don't think it is. If I, can you see me here? Yeah. If I go to over here on the right, if I hit that button, which is record mode, but it might be rubbed off. I want to go down to source. Okay.
Okay, when I'm hitting that, it's not changing anything. I don't know if it's because I have it in, I did something else, but.
Okay, right there. The 3 buttons on the right here. When you push the one on the right, what happens?
Literally nothing. So.
You might have pushed that hold button on. Check that. Is it on?
No, it's not.
You got to turn it on, yeah. To turn it on, you hold down the home button, lower left down here. Should still see a square there. That's the stop. That's the turn on and off.
Okay, it's on.
Okay, now hit that record mode button.
Yeah, it's just not bringing up the menu. It's not doing anything.
Let me see it. Get it real close.
I can't.
Oh, stop. You still got it on. You've still got it flashing. Pull your finger out of there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hit stop. Just like this turn on button. Or you're recording now. Yeah, you're not going to be able to change stuff while you're recording. It doesn't matter.
Okay, but now why is it doing it?
No, you're unmuted.
Oh, okay.
Your record button looks to be lit up to me. That you're not going to be able to change anything.
Okay, so it should be all the way.
No, you want to the button on the left. You keep turning it on and off. You're recording things.
All right.
You want to stop. You want to get out of that mode. See?
Okay.
Now it's out.
Okay, we're good.
Now go to that button.
Did it work? Yeah, it worked. Okay, it worked.
Okay, so it says external in 1/2. Is that that's not what we want?
Yeah, it's a little different on this one.
Okay. Okay.
Either of those external ins is going to work. One's
Okay.
going to just put it on both channels. One's going to put it on one. Doesn't really matter. We can
Okay.
put it on both when we're editing.
Let me see
That's
if
just so if you have two mics, you can record them independently. Now you have to push the button. You won't hear anything. Take it off of record mode. Once you're in external source, hit the record button once and you're previewing. Check, check, check. You're going to set your level. Over here on the right, up and down. Check, check, check. You can kind of guess until you get your subject. Then you just want to check. You don't want to see that peaking light going off all the time. Like if I yell into this really loud, it's just constantly going off. That's way distorted. That's going to be way too distorted. I got to back off. Nobody would talk like this into a mic when I'm trying to demonstrate it to you. It's possible if you got a big mouth person, like, well, some of you guys might be interviewing Rich. He's not a big mouth. He's just an excited guy, Richard Gunsmark. He talks kind of loud. So, or Nerissa, if you interview her, she whispers, right? She doesn't talk loud at all. She yells, he's got that broadcast voice. So you have to kind of adjust.
What did you say? I'm here. What?
Just saying, I'm just talking about different people and how they talk. I'm saying,
Oh, you're making fun of my loud voice.
You
It's a
whisper all the
cheerleader
time,
and an anchor mix.
have a real low voice. But no, yeah, the broadcast voice. So you're up there. So you just gotta. It's not crucial. You just don't want to. You don't want to be too low. Or too high. You got to set that level, and that as long as it's flashing, that's all you're doing. You're previewing. Once you hit that again, you check those numbers. If they're going, you're recording.
All right. When we had it,
just-
it was blinking and we were previewing, but I still didn't have any audio. I don't know what we're doing wrong.
Okay. Did you plug your mic in?
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay, you got to use your cable, first of all. Let me see the bottom. Yeah. Do me a favor, unplug that. Don't plug the mic directly in like that. It's no big deal, but just, you got to use a cable. It can be a big deal, that's why.
Okay.
So you should have a cable. Watch, I didn't give you a cable, so I'm telling you to do something.
No, we've got one.
I know I did.
So the mic is going to go into that. This is
That won't matter. You should have been hearing it anyway, but I'm just trying to, yeah.
So that's why I did.
Definitely on those other cameras, those Sonys, don't plug those lavaliers directly in. We can't get them out. We have to take it all apart.
All right.
Make sure it clicks, okay? Now,
We're good.
go back to your audio recorder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go through your steps, right? If you push your preview button, you don't have a level at all, go over here. You may be just all the way turned down here on the input level.
No,
Level.
it's like on like 17. So I mean, it's up and
Just use those up and down arrows here on the input level to get a decent level.
okay.
That's more you talking to the mic.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear anymore?
Nope.
Know what?
Nope. Go now.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
So we have audio levels going, but I still can't hear anything through the headphones. Talk again.
Testing.
Yeah, I
testing.
noticed that on mine too. The headphones aren't the greatest on these. You don't hear it at all? Your level is low. You need to bring your level up. Those are a little confusing, those graphs.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, there's nothing coming through the headphones. Do they have like a
Make sure they're plugged in tight. It's possible that those aren't making a good connection.
I mean, they don't have a power on the actual headphones, do they? I don't see any.
No, there's not, but they do have this weird, I just noticed. I'm kind of out of headphones. I'm using only, they have this weird,
I have different headphones. You just,
make sure they're plugged in. You have this kind, the Bellinger kind, that these were like $5.
yeah, I'm gonna try a different set. I have, they're
I
just,
was gonna say, do you have your own headphones?
But
Yeah, because I got a feeling these aren't working. Can't seem to hear it either. Here, I got a good pair of headphones right here. Let me check this out.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
I'm glad you told me that.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
yeah, it's our headphones.
Okay, well then, unfortunately, if you've
Earbuds
got those headphones, they're not going to be much good with these.
Yeah.
I hate those headphones. No wonder they were $5.
Testing. Oh, really clear.
Check. Yeah, I think there's a headphone level
Yeah. Let me just-
adjustment in the menu, and I'm going to have to turn it up. And this one's brand new. I just got it out of the box because I've got my good headphones on here, my home ones, and I can't hear it either. But if you see that level, you're going to be all right with this one. But you do want to listen. So you've got some headphones. Make sure you take those along. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
So the rest of you all, Kim, are you hearing okay?
Yeah.
On your audio? You have an audio recorder, right?
Yeah, I had it.
So you don't, does anybody else have these kind that say Behringer on them? Yeah, you got your own on too. These apparently, I don't think they're going to work with the headphone jack, which is bad. I'm not, Naquan, do you have headphones that you can take on your shoot? Yeah, you've got some right there, Tascam. Those are great. Take those along because I don't think these are going to, they have got this extra little screw thing on there and it blocks a lot. Can you see that? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of connections it blocks. I think that's your problem, right? Is that?
Yeah, I think
That was
so
it,
too.
right? I'm glad we worked that out before you got out there. Okay? So we want to just record, and when we're done, we just hit stop. But you just want to make sure, that's why I say, if you got two people, I would put one of them on audio. You mic up while I'm lining up the shot. Test it, make sure it's good. Then we both record, you'll be all good. And that's just for interviews now. We don't need that for B-roll, okay? So let's get back to B-roll just a little bit, just to finish out the audio. I do like to have good quality sound in restaurants or wherever I'm at, if I'm recording chickens. So I can use this mic. Ladante, right? Yeah, he's got one. It'll work on Kim's camera. This one, I really don't like. It came with an, because it'll unplug at two ends. It'll unplug here and it has on it. Then it'll unplug at the camera. I hate it. It's a good mic when it's working now. You can slip that on. My camera's a little different than yours, but on the side, there's a place for a mic, and in my case, a place for headphones. Now remember, it might seem obvious, but that's not going to be what, you're not going to be listening to. Let's see if these work in here. You're not going to be listening to what was recorded on the audio recorder if you plug in these headphones. Although I have seen people loop them into cameras, which you can do. Check. Yeah, these aren't working with that either. So Naquan, you and Juan are going to plug right in. You're going to plug your mic in and your headphones in, just like I showed you the other day. Okay. I can't hear that either. I guess I can. Well, I can't hear it because I don't have it plugged in. So I'm going to plug my mic in. Yeah, I don't hear that. Oh, I don't hear it because the camera's turned off. Hello. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm tapping on this, see it? Because I want to hear it. Do I get that? Very easy for it to come unplugged. The nice thing is if it comes unplugged, it kind of goes to the default mic. But sometimes it sticks right in the middle and then you get no mic. So be very careful. All of y'all should have a mic. If some of you don't have these black ones, you have another kind, that's got an on-off switch at the top. Make sure you put it in the middle, just the on-off. Don't mess with the one at the bottom, okay?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I work at a flea market. Now that I thought of it, I work with this guy that sells electronics. How about this mic? Is this any good for like music and stuff?
Let me see the bottom of it. Yeah, it appears to be. I can't tell, but yeah, it appears to be pretty decent. All right, we got to get back to this.
All right, thank you.
All right, so I can plug that mic in. Now, do y'all see that other mic in your pack that I'm talking about? That's your choice. But if you plug that in, I'm okay with you just using the mic and the camera, but I prefer you to use that. But just, you got to make sure you turn it on. You got to make sure you plug it in. And for those of you that don't have a headphone jack, or even if you're curious, everybody's camera, if I go into yours is a little different. On your cameras, when you go into the menu, there's two little hash marks that show a little movie camera. That's obviously indicating that these are video settings. And obviously audio is not going to be part of still pictures. So you'll find your audio in there in those two hash marks. I see mine right here, sound recording. I can check it there. See, I can see it. I want it on auto. It's going to set the levels. It's going to try to keep things from getting distorted, right? That's what I want. But so if you don't have headphone jacks and you just want to confirm, I'm tapping on that. See how it's going up and down? That's as good as I can get. Not good enough for me. I want to hear it, but I can't even hear that with headphones in it. I got to figure out what's going on there. Probably a setting for, I'll figure it out. So you can go in the menu and see your audio there and leave it on auto though. Don't, if you take it off of auto, then you're going to be responsible for setting the levels. You don't want to mess with that. Not on these. All right. How are we making out here? You guys following me? We're kind of through most of the technical buttons.